So my name is John Davidson, and for about 25 years, I was like a version of Don Draper from Mad Men in Hollywood. And then when 2020 happened, I abandoned my career to fight for you guys. And I've been doing interviews and documentaries and epidemicofraud.com and brokentruth.tv. So that's me. A few weeks ago, months ago now, I had a great interview with a woman in Canada named Katie Positney, and she has been fighting against the CFIA, which is the Canadian version of the FDA, for the survival of her ostrich farm, which is approximately 400 ostriches who are marked for death because they had the audacity to survive bird flu. And of course, the Canadian government can't have that because that could interfere with vaccine development. The bird flu and the ostriches created antibodies that can be used to heal us from the bird flu without having a vaccine. So, Katie, we'd love to get you up here to talk about it. I just want to say while she walks up, Katie is so wonderful. She epitomizes the perfect way to protest government activity politely. She's so Canadian. And she's brought together a huge crowd of people to fight this. She is definitely a cheerleader for the Thrive in 25 crowd. And here you go. Thank you.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I'm very Canadian and thank you for having me here. I'm going to take my shoes off. If anybody knows me, my happiest place is with my feet on the ground at the farm and around animals. And I think it's just very grounding. Okay. So everyone, our Canadian farm, Universal Ostrich Farm, is under attack by our Canadian government. My name is Katie Positney, daughter of Karen Esperson, co-owner of Universal Ostrich Farm, and lifelong animal advocate. From my earliest days growing up on the farm, I watched my mother care for animals, speak truth when she saw injustice, and stand firm on her values. Her unwavering dedication taught me that defending what's right isn't just admirable, it's necessary. Today, that lesson has become my life's mission. I'm here to fight not only for our ostriches, but for every farmer and every animal at risk under unchecked regulatory power. These ostriches aren't just livestock, they're family. And protecting them is a part of a broader commitment to ensure no farm, no flock, and no family is ever silenced or destroyed without cause. Our farm is located in Edgewood, British Columbia, about 5,000 kilometers away from here. And we've spent years raising healthy, strong ostriches, some over 35 years old and most in their 20s. When processing plants shut down during the COVID pandemic, we made a bold pivot at pioneering antibody research that could transform medicine. We collaborated with Dr. Tsukamoto, a Japanese scientist, conducting groundbreaking work on ostriches' natural immune system. That's when the pressure started. In December 2024, we faced every farmer's nightmare. A government call order, not for proven disease, not based on science, but on a vague biosecurity narrative built on one anonymous tip, 2 PCR tests, and no transparency. We are eroding the trust in our agricultural industry with the very organizations that should be protecting us. Between December 14th, 2024 and January 14th, we lost 69 ostriches. When the first 10 fell ill, we suspected a bacterial infection, likely Pseudomonas, based on similar symptoms we had saw in 2020. We immediately called our vet and began treatment, calmly and responsibly isolating the sick birds and adjusting our feed in case of contamination. Some birds recovered and some birds did not. At no point did we contact the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, as we had no reason to believe it was a reportable disease. According to CFIA, it was an anonymous tip that triggered their involvement. Federal agents arrived took PCR swabs from 2 carcasses and within 24 hours issued a call order for our entire livelihood, our entire flock. We were ordered to destroy all of our birds on February 1st by our own hands, and we absolutely denied that request. Strict quarantine rules have been enforced. No treatment or testing is allowed on our own property without being threatened 6 months in jail and a $200,000 fine. Did you know that Canadian Food and Inspection Agency doesn't even need a test? They can come onto our property based off suspicion and eradicate and kill all of our animals on any of our properties. When did it become a crime to test your own animals? Why did we lose that right, and where did we lose that right? This is when we pushed back. It was obvious that this had nothing to do with public health and everything to do with government overreach. We filed and were granted a judicial review, and for a moment, the justice system seemed to be working. The call was paused. But on May 13th, 2025, the court ruled against us. It's important to point out that the judge only openly stated he could not rule on whether the CFIA's decision was right or wrong. In his words, his hands were tied. We had no choice but to file for an emergency stay application. And thanks to massive public pressure and incredible support from people like Andy Sabin in New York, John Katsimadidis in New York, and people like you internationally stepped up to support us in Canada. The Federal Court of Appeal granted us another temporary stay of execution just this June 20th. Just in time. In just a few weeks, we will be going to Ottawa for our appeal, but the clock is ticking. If denied, our options are limited. This process is financially draining and emotionally exhausting. Fighting for our farm shouldn't come at the cost of our livelihood and well-being. And today, our birds are still alive. 165 days alive. Really alive. Dancing, and they're bathing in their sand. They're in the sunshine laying dozens of antibody-rich eggs that no one can use, as they're all under quarantine. And we will set a precedent in our fight. Protect, please, Americans and patriots. This is the moment. We either protect the producers or we become the product. We either stand with the land or we get swept into lab-grown, policy-controlled nightmares. Farmers like us are not fringe, we are the front line. Universal Ostrich Farm isn't backing down. We're fighting for every chicken farmer, every cattle rancher, every beekeeper, and every family homestead that's next in line. The key here are ostriches recovered naturally, demonstrating immunity rather than ongoing infection. This resilience is not an anomaly, it's a vital asset to the world. Our recovered flock offers a unique opportunity to study natural immunity and develop sustainable solutions for future outbreaks. Destroying them is not only wasting potential, but it undermines global agricultural resilience. They came after our truckers that were the heroes through COVID. They came after frontline workers through COVID. Everybody was heroes and then very quickly villainized for not taking the COVID-19 vaccine. They're now coming after our agricultural industry and has led me here to Florida to speak with all of you. Our ostriches provide hope. They have a key in natural antibody production that can help with therapeutics and natural solutions, pushing the need for vaccinations away from the people who should not have the power to administer it. Stamping out is already a universal policy in most countries as a rapid response to highly transmissible diseases. But if unchecked, Culling becomes a global rule. Pandemic defenses weaken. Natural therapeutic innovation stalls, and biodiversity collapses. Our ostriches offer a better model, natural immunity over extermination. You can follow our journey, saveourostriches.com. Join our fight by sharing, praying, and supporting your local communities so that this is not happening in your agricultural industries. In closing, we are not just defending ostriches. We're protecting a future where science, compassion, and courage lead the way. Let this be our legacy, a statement echoing through labs, halls of power, and farms around the world. And may it spark the courage to choose science over fear, truth over bureaucracy, and a future led by knowledge. God is good, and the world deserves better. I just want one last. I met a little girl yesterday. She was here. Her name was Elia, and I got to meet her for a brief moment. She lit up with excitement when I spoke about saving the ostriches, something that's become really second nature over the 35 years that we've had them, and the last 6 months especially. And in that moment, I was reminded again that this fight isn't just about today. It's about her future. It's about our kids' future. It's about their kids' future. We protect life. We don't destroy it. Where farms are places of hope, not fear, what we do now will shape the world that she will inherit. And I refuse to let that world be one where compassion and truth are silenced. For Elia and every child like her, Universal Ostrich Farms will continue to fight as the world continues to watch. Thank you.
I knew as early as February 2020 that I needed to do something.
I recognized that there was a systematic problem and that this was not about hydroxychloroquine, it was something larger.
Fear shut the world down, and people made a lot of money at it as they were killing us.
I was asked to speak at a freedom rally that was set up to discredit my reputation.
Whoever orchestrated this must not have the safety of this nation in mind.
Medicine and politics should be separated. These doctors were handcuffed.
The American public has awakened. We have a new civil rights movement to restore our rights, and we're going to hold them accountable.
It is a natural progression of a man of God or woman of character to see injustice, to seek it out, and then to act upon it.
Do you hear me? We will never lock down again. This is the hill we die on.
Don't miss New American Heroes with attorney Warner Mendenhall and John Davidson, Mondays on BrokenTruth.tv.